The game awards are very close. I know some people care about them, some people don't. I like to just talk about it. Plus, it's the closest thing I'm ever going to get to E3 anymore. So, hi, we're here. This is the voting time. The awards just came out earlier today. This is later at the night. I haven't seen all of them. I've seen the Game of the Year nominations and a few other categories, but most of this is going to try to be as surprised as it can get. So, we are going to go through this. I'm going to give my thoughts. I plan to talk about more Game of the Year and stuff. Main channel, I have a video I want to plan to get out, and then I also might just have a discussion with my tomfoolers on my other channel. I can link those, or it'll be in my description if you're curious to check it out. You don't have to, of course. So let's just vote and get into it, huh? So, oh, you bastard. Okay, finally gonna cut through some of this. Hi, we're finally here. I don't like how they do Game of the Year. I think I did this last where I just cut this part out. Still don't know. Maybe I'll do it post-editing as well. Game of the Year. I already know what I'm voting for this one out of these ones, but I guess we could talk about them here. So we got Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I played Clair Obscur, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Silksong. I am probably going to be playing Hades 2 by the end of the year. The physical comes out in like a few days. I've been waiting for that just because I'm a physical little slut. Death Stranding 2, I really loved the first one. I know some people did not like it. I will be playing Death Stranding 2. It's going to have to be on the back burner. And I don't really know much about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I know a lot of people have been talking about it as a game of the year, but it's just, so far, nothing that necessarily I need to play right now. There's too many games in my backlog anyway, so... it's Clair Obscur. I'm gonna just go with that. I have a lot of things why, but there's a lot of good nominations here. I've heard, Death Stranding 2 is probably the one I've heard the least about, besides it being the Hideo Kojima and the Jeff Keighley love fest here. But Donkey Kong Bonanza, that is kind of the most, for a Nintendo IP, and it's a very fun game. Hades 2, I understand why it's here as well. The original Hades, fan-freaking-tastic. I have no doubt that this game is just going to be as good, if not better. And once again, fantastic game, had the Game of the Year nomination 2020, so once again, I think well-deserving. Same with Silksong. Silksong would be probably my second runner-up for this if I had to choose right now. I really like Silksong. I had my own grievances with it, but they're minor in the sense of I just would prefer Clair Obscur to pick that vote. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And yep, there it is. I was waiting for that to happen. Alright, Best Game Direction. Awarded for Outstanding Creative Vision and Innovation in Game Direction and Design. Man, well, there was only 5 in this one's weird. But Clair Obscur, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, and Split Fiction. Once again, I'd say all makes general sense on here. Once again, now with this, I've only played Ghost of Yotei and Clair Obscur. I'd say creative vision and game direction and design. I think it'd have to go to Clair Obscur as well. Just the painting, the artistry, the aesthetic that it has. It's very intentional, but also just very nice. And it's good. I don't know how to explain it. You play the game, it's just beautiful. The world design is fan-freaking-tastic. So, best narrative. Damn it. All right. I'm sorry. It's Clair Obscur. Sorry, this one's going to be a sweep this year. Best art direction. All right. Or just give it to Clair Obscur, even though I think it does probably get up there. Ghost of Yotei. If you played Ghost of Tsushima, very similar, just amazing art direction. Death Stranding 2, I would assume, has pretty good art direction. What I've seen of the original, I actually don't know a whole lot about the second game. Hades 2, good as well. And Silksong, actually, very, very good artistic design and animation. And you know what? It does say animation, and since this is a 2D crafted game, I'll give this one the Silksong for that reason alone. I think it deserves it as an indie game where it's just a lot of 2D animation as opposed to 3D. Not saying anything else was bad. I think pretty much all these games deserve some sort of award in that regard, but I'll say Silksong. It's beautiful. There's so much in the foreground and background of these games, the Hollow Knight games in general. It's just, there's so much love to these games in terms of just the design. It's very good. So, best score and music, yeah. Once again, God, I feel like anyone that they're going to be in here, this is one of the best soundtracks I've ever fucking heard in a video game series. I swear to Christ, dude. Oh, and then I reached the edge. There we go. Best audio design. All right. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. All right. Battlefield 6, Clair Obscur, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Silent Hill F. You know, if I played Silent Hill F, I feel like that would probably be a pretty good contender. I'll do Ghost of Yotei. I think it's got just pretty good audio design in general. I don't exactly, once again, trying to judge it on my own understanding of everything, but the use of like extreme, like just a bunch of traditional like Japanese instruments, like a big, I'm not finished with Yotei at the time of this video coming out, but a lot of it's going around with the shamisen, traditional like Japanese instrument. And the main character Atsu plays that and learned it from her mother. There's a lot of that, and most of the sound, like the lead instrument, is the shamisen, which is really cool. And I think that helps just with also everything else that the game has. There's a lot of like love and like nuanced design put into this with art and sound too. Once again, this would have probably gotten a very good art direction because of how beautiful it looks, and that would have been my number 2, because it is a visually masterful looking game. Yeah. Best performance. This is the other one I remember seeing right off the top. So Ben Starr, Charlie Cox, and Jennifer English of all Clair Obscur. Erika Ishii for Ghost of Yotei, Kunatsu Kato from Silent Hill F, and Troy Baker from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Honestly, from what I've seen, I feel like it's probably going to be one of the Clair Obscur guys. I don't much know about Silent Hill F or even Indiana Jones. I do know Troy Baker, very prominent actor in especially video games and stuff, so I could see it going to him. Not that I necessarily think it deserves. I think he's a good actor. A lot of the roles he has been fantastic. And Erika Ishii, once again, what I've seen, I quite like her performance so far, what I've seen as Atsu. So, yeah, I don't know what this is. Do I give it to Jennifer English, or I feel like I might do it for Mael, as she had very huge emotional moments, but I think I'm going to be giving it to Charlie Cox for Gustav, just because, man, I love my boy Gustav. He's such a good character. So any of those I would feel get it, but again, I feel like that's a good lineup. There's nothing I would be like, that's just a terrible opinion. Once again, don't know much about Silent Hill F, so I can't really vote on that. So, innovation and accessibility, recognizing software and/or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help the games and be played by a wider audience. So, none of these games I've actually played. We'll probably play Shadows at some point. I've played most of the Assassin's Creed games actually, and I will go for this one. It's the sole concept of the fact that I know Ubisoft is actually pretty decent in having a bunch of ease of access for that kind of stuff in their, like, just their games. A lot of options in there, so that's just kind of what I generally know. Games for Impact, a thought-provoking game with a pro-social message or meaning and or message. Consumi Despelote, Lost Records, Blue and Rage, South of Midnight, and Wanderstop. I don't know any of these games. Quite like the profile art of the South of Midnight, so I'll give it to you. I don't know. A lot of some of these games I know there's always a category to where I have like, I don't know. So, and there's another error again. Man, what this site is geeking tonight. Okay, best ongoing. Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and No Man's Sky. I don't have any stake in this a whole lot. Fortnite does seem weird with how they're going, but I'll just give it to Final Fantasy XIV, as I heard it's not fallen off yet. It's one of the only Final Fantasies I haven't yet to play, but I'm a Final Fantasy guy, and I will be playing this at some point when I get to that point in the series, so it sounds good. Ooh, best community support. I'll give this one to Baldur's Gate 3. Because it's been going for a while, and I actually haven't played the updates since they've done it, but I do want to. They've added a bunch of new subclasses and stuff, and especially my main guy, my D&D guy was a Hexblade Warlock, and I tried my best to recreate that in like base Baldur's Gate 3, and of course I'm at the end of the game, about to beat it, and then they're like, yeah, Hexblade Warlock's going to be one of the subclasses, so that makes me upset, but it's cool. I like the community support for Baldur's Gate 3. The mods, what I've understand, one of my friends very, very into Baldur's Gate 3. Sick Shaka, bro, you play this game a lot. Anyways, best indie game, okay. Or independent, I guess. I don't know if it's indie. Absalom, Ball X Pit, Blueprints, Clair Obscur, Hades 2, Hollow Knight, Silksong. Do I give the Clair Obscur here? That one I know it's like... Well, I don't know. There's like that concept of it being a double A game, which I don't... Smart with this one. Man, I don't know. I actually just saw stuff with this Absalom game. It actually looks kind of cool. I've also heard Blueprints is pretty good. I don't know much else about it besides that it's a game that people have said it's very good. And I'd say out of these three that I definitely know of, it could go to any of them and I would not be upset. Clair Obscur, Hades 2, and Silksong. Team Cherry and Supergiant specifically are two indie developers that like I'm going to see their name plastered on any game going forward and I'm going to be like, yep. And same probably with Sandfall, Kepler Interactive, I guess, if they continue to keep making games, whether it's in the Clair Obscur universe or just anything else. I would definitely just kind of go into like a blind faith dive into some of these. So I haven't given anything to Hades 2 yet, so I'll give it to Hades 2 for this one. I like Supergiant games quite a bit, so. Now, best debut indie game. Okay. Clair Obscur, Blueprints, Despelote, Dispatch, and Megabonk. Megabonk I've heard is also very good, and Dispatch I've seen a decent amount of, and also have heard it's very good. So, its debut, talking about that, I'll just go with Clair Obscur for this one as well. So, it's gonna be the sweep this year, but God, it's kind of deserved. I would say there's so much good in this game. I don't want to just be glazing it the entire time, but best mobile game: Destiny, Rising, Persona 5, The Phantom X, Sonic Rumble, Uma Musume, Pretty Derby, Withering Waves. I'm only gonna do Persona 5, The Phantom X, not because I love Persona and the Shin Megami Tensei franchise, but because of the Subway Slimer himself. Just the creation of that character alone makes this worth it, so if you don't know, you don't know. Sorry. That's stupid. I don't care for that category. Whatever happens in that one is not my problem. Best VR AR. Oh, God. Okay. This looks cool. I don't know. Moving on. Best action game. Alright. Well, I'm sure Doom or Ninja Gaiden 4 probably do well. I'll put it for Hades 2 since that's the one I'm going to know the most of gameplay-wise since I played at least the base one. If I did this like a week later, if I did that a week later, I probably would have at least had a little bit of Hades 2 in there. Apparently, I can't go on to the next category. Best Action Adventure. Best Action Adventure combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. I would say Silksong definitely takes that one. Very good. It's a very fun game. I went to 100% it. Not like any of the crazy achievements on that, but got like the bestiary, whatever you call in that game. I already forgot. And stuff like that. Best RPG. Avowed, Clair Obscur, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, Outer Worlds 2, Clair Obscur. It is one reason why I will glaze this game. It hits a lot of things that I love in a JRPG specifically. The battling is fun. The combat system is so broken. In a sense of you can break the game, but then the end game scaling, it surprisingly you can get damage numbers into the hundreds of thousands and maybe even millions, and I don't feel like the game just completely is like just not a game anymore. I don't know. It seems to seamlessly level up its power scaling just in a way I've never really seen in a game like this before, at least with its number size. So it's just very fun, very customizable. It's stuff I love in RPGs. So it's not like, yeah, Paper Mario 2, like inspiration of like the action. I know it's like I always call it Paper Mario, but the real-time combat stuff, it's fun. It's cool. It kind of tones back, and there's definitely some like a lot of people say the Dark Souls inspiration. I know that's just because the game can get hard, but you played the game once again, there is some clear Dark Souls inspiration with especially some of the boss design and boss attacks, I guess I could say. So best fighting game. You know, I don't know any of this. I'll do the Capcom Fighting Collection 2. There you go. There's my myself coming forward. Best family game, aka the Nintendo one. Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Sonic Racing Crossworld, Split Fiction, Hazelight. I feel like that's a good studio that would like. I feel like that's probably a pretty solid game. I've heard pretty good things. Sonic Racing Crossworld also I've heard pretty good things about. Mario Kart World's fine, and then Donkey Kong Bonanza. I want to give Donkey Kong Bonanza a vote because I really like the game, but like I always think like best family, I think of like a multiplayer game. But like, would Mario Kart World take it? I mean, it's just for family play, irrespective of genre platform. I'll throw my hat in the ring for Donkey Kong Bonanza just because I do want to give it a vote and it's some love. It's a very fun game. That's Sim Strategy. Okay. Final Fantasy Tactics, Jurassic World, Sid Meier's Civ 7, Tempest Rising, the Alters, yeah, sure, 2 Point Museum. I'll give this to Final Fantasy Tactics. I do want to play this at some point. Never played either of the Tactics games for Final Fantasy, so, but I got none of the games played, so I really can't vote anyways. All right, there, you get my Mario Kart World vote. It's whatever. I am not a racing guy, so I'm sorry if that makes you upset. That probably doesn't deserve it, but yeah, I don't care. Best multiplayer. Well, really peaks on here. Interesting. Split Fiction, Battlefield, Arc Raiders. I've heard a decent amount lately. Elden Ring, Night Rain. I might. One of the only times I've seen this vote actually come in for it. I'm surprised this didn't get much more, being Elden Ring in a From Software game. So, being the only one I played, I'll give it to that. So, I could see like Peak or something getting in there because I know it got pretty popular too. So, or even just you don't know much about Battlefield in terms of like how well Battlefield 6 is doing compared to its other games and whatnot. So. Best adaptation: the Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Splinter Cell, Death Watch, The Last of Us Season 2, and Until Dawn. Oh god, do I just shitpost for the Minecraft movie? Unfortunately, it's the only thing I've actually seen on this. It's not really that great though, but Chicken Jockey? The Devil May Cry, like anime, good? Maybe? Ah, screw it. This is my blind reactions changed my mind. I don't, watch a whole lot of TV show movies, sorry. Most anticipated game, alright. 007 First Light, Grand Theft Auto 6, Marvel's Wolverine, Resident Evil Requiem, and The Witcher 4. I'm sure this is going to go to GTA 6. Me, on the other hand, I don't know. None of these games, like, I haven't played enough of the Resident Evil games, or I played some of Witcher 3. Not even like 007. I'll give it to The Witcher 4. I need to get back in The Witcher 3. It's a game that I feel like I should be liking a lot more. I just kind of like got other games coming in. I stopped playing it and then I just forgot to like pick it up. So I'll give The Witcher 4. I think that game could be good, even though I'm sure it's going to go to GTA 6 for this one. So it is what it is. Content Creator of the Year. Cadril, I actually don't know how to say his name. Kai Cenat, Moist Critical, Sakura Miko, and The Burnt Peanut. Well, I know Kai Cenat and Moist Critical. I'll give it to Critical because I actively watch his stuff periodically, so I like his content. He's a funny guy. No, I'm sure Kai Cenat probably gets a lot of stuff. He's been doing a lot of just pretty big stuff recently in the creator sphere. I don't follow him a whole lot. I don't watch his stuff. I know, not necessarily in my field of things, but I still respect the guy. He's done a massive blow up in the last couple of years, just becoming a content creator. And then I do not know the other three, so I'll give the Critical. I like the guy, and I'm surprised it's the first time I think I've seen him on here, but he's doing a lot of waves, and hey, he voiced Sonar and Dispatch too, so there's that acting career of his skyrocketing. So best esports game: Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, and Valorant. Ugh. See, all these games, League of Legends I've heard is toxic. Valorant I've heard is toxic. I'll give the Counter-Strike, right? I don't know. I don't care. This is just... My vote means nothing in this. My opinion means nothing in the vote. Best esports athlete. Ah, here we go. Do I know any of these people by name? Brawl, Brock, Sommerhalder, Chovy, Zhang Jihoon, Taken, Jason Susanto, Kakaru Watanabe, Menard, Saul Leonardo, and Zhao Matthew Herbout. I don't know how the hell you say that last username. A blind reaction here. Oh, sorry, something notification in the background. Sorry about that. Blind reaction here. All right, there you are. It's you. Congrats, Chovy. Repeat around this one. So, didn't work. All right, Genji probably, but League of Legends. That's unfortunate for League. It's just League of Legends. That's all. Yeah. Why? Just because you think they would have fixed some tech issues if the Game Awards launched like well over 12 hours ago. It's 10 o'clock something at night right now. So, oh, I'm at the end anyways. Player's voice, 3 rounds. So this one opens up round 1, December 1st, December 4th. I can talk about this because I know what game I would want to initially put down for player's voice because there was not a single nomination for it. That would be 100 Line. That'd be the only game so far on here that I think got super snubbed of not even like a single nomination for award. Game of the year, I knew it wasn't going to get in. It's pretty niche of a game, but man, I like 100 Line so much. It's such a good game. Yeah, so that would be my player's choice pick just because I think it deserves some sort of recognition here. Very fun, very good. But it's a game that I totally understand why it's not in the Game Awards because I'm sure Jeff Keighley doesn't even know what the fuck 100 Line means. All right, that's really it. I'd probably be streaming when the game comes out, I think, or the Game Awards come out. It's Thursday, December 11th, and I have pretty sure off that day. If my schedule or timing is wrong, then so be it. But that's all I really have. Let me know what you would vote for some of these things, or just if you're curious about what's going to win, or if you don't really care, or if you're just curious if there's any cool announcements for the Game Awards 2025. Almost said 2026. It's about to be that year, though. So very curious, very interested. Yeah, I'll see you then, and maybe I'll talk about it during my Tomcast where I talk about that stuff. Yeah. Good dialogue. All right, bye.